Alright guys, Pitbikesonic here, and today we are going to be talking about prepping for the start of a pit bike race. Going from getting your levers on, getting the tyre warmers off, going to the holding area, doing the warm-up lap until you pull away and get into that first corner down there. Right, so before we even get on track, we start off prepping for our race before we even get going. So the first thing we want to do is make sure you're drinking plenty of water, especially on a hot day like this, because that's really going to help you keep hydrated for the race. Getting your levers on. I tend to get mine on 2 or 3 races before mine's going to be out, especially on a hot day like this. You don't want to be in your levers all day, so try and get into them 2 or 3 races before the start of the race. Then what you're going to do as the race before you is out on track, go to the track side if you can, go watch that last race, and as soon as you see that last lap flag go out, the race before you, get back to your bike and prepare to get your helmet on, gloves on and tyre warmers off. Leave it as late as possible because obviously you want to keep the heat in those tyres for as long as possible before you go out for your race on track. So your tyre warmers are off and you're now either pushing the bike to here, the holding area, to get ready to go out for your race. Hopefully you've timed it right so you won't be sitting in here too long. Hopefully you're going to be here in the maximum of a few minutes as long as there's not a red flag out on track. You'll leave the holding area, make your way round to the grid and get into your grid position. Always remember your grid position. You don't want to be holding up others on track waiting to go out on their warm-up lap. So you've come out the holding area, you've made your way to the grid, make sure you're in the right grid slot. There will be someone here to help you if you haven't. And then the next thing you're going to do is once you're all lined up, she's going to put the flag in her hand and walk off the grid. And then you will set off for your warm-up lap. Do a little bit of a practice start while you're here, just to get your head ready for what's going to be coming up in a lap time when you're doing it for real. So you're going to go onto your warm-up lap, go on your warm-up lap at a good speed. Get your head in the mindset that you are now doing a race. So when you come back round, line up on the grid for the start of the race, your head's in it and you're ready to pull away and get your elbows out and get racing. So you'll come round, you'll do your full lap, go back into the grid position you were just in, off your warm-up lap, and then you get ready to go. This is when you're going to be at the most nervous point of the race. You're going to be in your grid position. If you're up the front, it's going to take a bit of a while because everyone's got to get in their positions. You're going to line up. She's going to move off, point her flag at the lights. The lights are going to go red and then they're going to go off. The way I like to start on a pit bike is literally, you have that clutch, literally, so you are just holding the bike with your foot to stop it moving. So you're literally just hanging onto the bike and stopping it moving. And I have the revs as high as possible. Some people like to rev the bike. I just hold it on the limiter and just let the clutch out and go. Some people also like to put their finger on the back brake just to keep the front wheel down. I personally don't do it myself. I put a lot of my body weight on the front of the bike to keep the front wheel down. And with the first gear being so short on a pit bike, what you want to do is you just want to get as much weight over the front as possible and get into second gear as quick as possible. You're going to head down into turn 1. If you can, It's a bit of a lottery first lap. You can't predict it. You don't know where bikes are going to be on the grid or anything. But all I'd advise is try and get to the inside as quick as possible. If you're on the outside on the first corner, you could be in a whole lot of trouble, because if people lose the front or there's any incidents, they're either going to push you out wide, or even worse, you're going to land up crashing.
It does. I mean, every single rider will know on that grid that this is about to get crazy. The pit bikes are always crazy. It takes so long for these front boys just to sit on the grid and wait for the other 29, 28 bikes to arrive. They're waiting here for quite a while, staring at the flag marshal, waiting for them to point up to the lights to then go out, and then they can head down to the first corner for what is going to be an insane race. I mean, Rossi Bannon will be out for vengeance as we just wait for 1 or 2 final changes on the grid to be made, and then we can get underway. You can see Roger Keys in your picture there, our race control, well, the person that really does it all. And then as we wait for the lights to turn on, the lights are on and the lights are off, and we are racing here. Rossi Bannon gets a good start, but Reece Peacock gets pushed all the way down to 3rd. Rossi Bannon leads the way, but it's a great start also from Taylor Lawrence in 2nd place. Taylor Lawrence, we didn't see too much of him yesterday in this bright green levers, but Rossi Bannon now is his chance to go, because yesterday it was him and Reece Peacock is at the front, but now he's
So guys, that was my little guide on the way of getting ready for a race on a pit bike, all the way from prepping yourself a couple of races before, from the sighting lap to the warm-up lap, all the way to letting that clutch off and going down into that first corner. I hope it could be a help for some of you new guys. I get asked to do this video a few times. So cheer guys for watching. If you haven't already subscribed, I really appreciate it if you could by hitting this button up here. And to watch some more videos, hit this button down here. Cheers guys, and I'll see you for another video. Bye bye.